Top news stories on Shelby this week. Fire station's open house, a victim's help from the community, and Charlie.
A historic marker will be installed right behind me. Coming up, I'll tell you the story behind this home.
All those stories, plus much more. But first, back to that top news story. Our local heroes held their open house recently at Fire Station 1. John Martin reports on this event, which gives township residents an inside look of the everyday life of a firefighter.
When firefighters have their open house, you know it's going to have it all. Safety, demonstrations, everything you need for an afternoon of family fun. Fire Station 1 welcomed residents to the new facility that was built back in 2012. Kids enjoyed exploring fire trucks and squads. They met Sparky the dog and got to try out a fire hose. Resident Madison tells us more about the ladder climb and other activities she saw.
It's really high up, and it would have been the first time. And it was the first time I saw the jaws of life and inside a fire truck. I went inside an ambulance too, and my sister did. And there's like a bunch of, there's like a little table, like a bed thing for where people, whoever got hurt lays there. There's like a bunch of medical stuff in there too that scared me.
Along with activities for kids, the open house gives residents an opportunity to see the inner workings of the department, like a car extrication demonstration.
What the fire department has to offer as far as our engines, our ambulances, and we have all of our rescue equipment that they can see for some of the other specialized responses that we do, such as hazmat, confined space, trench rescue, as well as we have hose lines out so the kids can spray water. We have our ladder truck here giving the kids bucket rides. It gives the community a chance to see all the different equipment we have and gets hands-on. We have our river boat and some of our rescue kayaks out here the kids and that people get to see, and it's just a real fun event for everyone to come out. We have our dispatchers and police department here, as well as representatives from Henry Ford Hospital, and so it's just a good time for the community. We have one of the best turnouts that I can remember, and we're just thankful that the community is participating to learn more about the fire department and things we have to offer.
Not only is the open house beneficial for residents, it's also enjoyable for members of the fire department. EMS and firefighters get to interact with the public, fix lunch, and of course have their ever-famous candy drop from one of the ever-famous bucket apparatus. Another successful fire station open house, and always remember, safety first. For Shelby This Week, I'm John Martin.
Chief Swinkowski also said that they had one of the biggest crowds at this year's open house. Great turnout. Speaking of fires, a family who lost their home in a house fire is getting some help from neighbors and the community. The fire happened on September 26 near East Pearson and Van Dyke. The family says almost everything in the home was destroyed except some jewelry and china. They also lost a dog and 2 vehicles in the fire. The family says neighbors have been helping them clean up, including their community church, which has donated clothes and other items. A neighbor first called 911 when the blaze happened. They tried to save the dog, but neighbors say smoke was too thick to get in the house. If you want to know more about the development of Shelby Township, or if you have some input to help make Shelby a better place to live, play, or learn, come to the Master Plan Open House on October 28th from 4 till 7 p.m. Residents are urged to help shape the future of Shelby Township.
What it does is it gives them, our bosses, the residents and taxpayers, a chance to tell us what they think in terms of infrastructure and economy, how things should be. And I think it'll be a good opportunity for them to just tell us, what they're feeling, so that they can guide us in making the master plan that reflects what they want, not what we want. That's the whole idea. And of course, sometime down the road, we'll do the top 10 priorities, which is a lot different than this. So this is really infrastructure and service, very, very important.
Julie Misich from the Planning Department tells us who will be there.
Some of the Planning Commission members present there as well. LSL Planning will be there as well. So we are looking for feedback and ideas from the township residents and, to get a better master plan.
Any ideas residents might have, township roads or parks? Anything you'd like to share so the plan can be shaped in great fashion, how people envision the township. Come by the Master Plan Open House. A Shelby home is getting a new addition. Charlie Cadotto reports from a historical home.
I think it's going to be something nice to put on the house.
This home on 21 in Van Dyke will soon become a part of Shelby history. The Shelby Township Historical Committee has ordered a historic marker to be placed right in front of the home.
We're going to get a plaque that will label the house between 1870 and 1875.
Myrna Mazur moved into the home in 1984. She says a lot has changed in Shelby since then.
It didn't have as many houses on the block as it does now, so we're full with houses on every lot. This used to be a gravel highway, and now it's a two-lane highway.
Her husband first bought the property in 1958, 3 years after the home was moved to its current location. At the time, some people wanted the house torn down to replace it with a parking lot, but luckily the home was saved and moved to 21 Mile Road.
They needed more parking space, so they moved the house here in 1955. People thought it was either a hotel or an orphanage, and they got together and gathered $25 and gave it to a man to burn it down, and he never burned it down.
Gardner Runyon, a Shelby Township carpenter and farmer, first built the structure in the 1870s. He later died inside. Today, Mazur says she's been working hard to remodel the home both inside and outside.
It's taken us about 4 years. We did the roof, then we've done the windows. Then I had the porch remade, and then we've done the painting and new siding.
Mazur's husband died in 2001. She says remodeling the home is special to her family.
This is an old home that I appreciate. It's a beautiful old Italianate house. They call it a cube, and it's just a very friendly house.
But sometimes Mazur says the home isn't so friendly. Some spirits act up.
We have things that lights turn on, doors close, doors open, lights turn off by themselves, or they'll turn on by themselves. Yeah, we have definitely will have spirits for Halloween, whether they come to the door or whether they're answering the door.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadotto.
What a beautiful historical home. Coming up, pork on your fork, restaurants closed, and more officers hired. Stay tuned.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
she doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new.
Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened?
Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
Pork on the run has been reported in Shelby. Nick Buckler explains.
Wednesday, residents came together to put pork on their fork at Coyote Joe's in Shelby Township. This fundraiser was to benefit the Healing Nest goals to help women with cancer.
The Healing Nest is open to any woman with any type of cancer. We meet once a month, and it's always free. All they need is a permission slip from their doctor filled out, and anything that they need to know about it can be found on our website at www.thehealingnest.org.
The night included raffles, food, drinks, prizes, and more, not to mention the partnership with the Shelby Township Police Department.
Tonight we're having a fundraiser with Healing Nest. They're a cancer organization. Great, we're just trying to help them out. It's actually our Command Officer Association and from the police department. We usually throw this event every year, every other year, and this year we're trying to help them out.
Along with the support of the police, many other local businesses donated to the fundraiser, including Coyote Joe's and Crank's Catering.
Joe, the owner, he's great. He always has our back. Crank's Catering donated the food. And as you see up there, local business all contributed to make this event happen.
Residents enjoyed putting pork on their fork for a great cause. For Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
All right, Nick, a great event for a great cause. 2 Hull Road restaurants shut down recently. Fajita Republic Cantina and Brand's Steakhouse and Grill both closed their doors in the same week. Fajita Republic opened less than a year ago when Champ's restaurant unexpectedly shut down. A few miles away, Brand's Steakhouse owners say the closure was due to high property taxes and local competition. Employees were given a week's notice and 1 week of severance pay. No word yet on what's next for those 2 locations. The Board of Trustees approved the hiring of 6 new police officers who will be assigned to the department's new traffic safety unit. The hiring of these entry-level patrol officers is the result of a needs analysis study conducted by Lieutenant Scott Trumbo, designed to improve the department's overall operations, and Trumbo formed a citizens advisory panel. Results from his work show the township's #1 complaint was about traffic. The formation of the traffic safety unit will be dedicated to keeping the streets of Shelby safe through education and enforcement. Their goal is to fill all the positions by October. This next story is a hot issue. It has to do with compelling statistics about national media attention and the portrayal of police violence all over our nation. Shelby Police Chief Robert Shalide is very passionate about this issue, and in his last show, Straight Talk, Dr. Richard Johnson, a criminal justice professor from the University of Toledo, was his guest and had some very compelling statistics about this issue.
But just doing my math in my head, if we're attacked 3,200 times a year on average with a knife or a gun, and we're only using fatal force about 400 times, that's about 1 in 8. About 1 in 8. So that's pretty good as far as it shows great restraint. As a police chief, I'm proud to hear of that. And where I'm very disappointed, I'm a member of the International Association of Chiefs of Police. I'm also a member of the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. I don't see anyone speaking out nationally, giving out any of this data. I think people are afraid to give the data out for whatever reason. Like you said, it's not politically correct. Here in Shelby Township, we're not afraid to give the data out, and that's why Dr. Johnson's on the show.
And that show, Straight Talk, can be seen right here on Shelby TV. Go to our website for dates and times. The boat operator from which Southfield Fire Chief Keith Rowley jumped from and drowned back in July was sentenced this week. The operator, William Jeffrey Jr., pleaded guilty to operating a vessel while intoxicated, a misdemeanor, and was charged $600 in fines and costs. Rowley had jumped from the boat while it was moving to retrieve Jeffrey's hat after it had flown overboard. He and the 3 others on board were heading back to the marina when the fire chief jumped in. The boat had circled back to try to get close to Rowley, but by the time they had thrown a life ring, he had already gone under. A local group that keeps an eye out in the sky held a fundraiser to propel money to a local group. Shelby TV's Rachel Martin reports.
We are here at Villa Penna's in Clinton Township for a benefit for the Macomb Sheriff's Aviation Division. Let's check it out. Tell us about Shoot with the Sheriff.
About 5 years ago, we started doing an annual event which was called Shoot with the Sheriff, and it was an opportunity for groups of people to come out and help us in a fundraiser, and the sheriff would shoot with each group as they went out. Now this year what we're doing is we're having our first gala party, which is enable us to have the spouses to come with each of the participants and help us fund the whole organization.
How did the aviation division get started?
Well, about 10 years ago, then Sheriff Mark Hackle contacted one of his friends that had an airplane, Matt Scarcella, and Matt was the first commander, and that was the beginning of the air unit. We started out just as a kind of a ragtag group of pilots with no unit airplane or anything like that, and we've just grown it from there. And it's been fantastic. It's a chance for all of us to use some skills that we have and assets to help the community. And it's the community where we live and grow up and play and work and everything else, so we're happy to help. And we also would always like to thank Sheriff Wickersham for giving us the opportunity to help.
The purpose for the fundraiser is to raise money to take care of some of our operating costs. Our airplane that we purchased 4 years ago is coming due for an engine overhaul. So a lot of the money will go towards that. And then secondly, there's some mandatory equipment that the FAA requires to have installed in all aircraft by 2020, so that's where the money will go as well.
How much do you hope to raise tonight?
Well, we're hoping to raise $20,000, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's been a very good turnout, very generous people, and I think we'll meet our goal of $20,000.
Thanks to everyone who attended. I'm sure the money raised tonight will keep them flying. This is Rachel Martin for Shelby This Week.
All right, Rachel, great report. Here's an event where you can work on your fitness and honor veterans at the same time. It's a Shelby Veterans Memorial Run held Sunday, November 8th. Running with Heroes will kick off at 12 noon, which includes more than just a 5K. There will be a band, Vietnam veterans, and more. The race course is held at the Township Hall, Land, and Mace-Decker Park. You can sign up online for this race. It's only $20, then $25 after November 7th. The Shelby Township Lions Club annual wine tasting event is just around the corner, held on Friday, November 6th at the Palazzo Grande. They have lots to offer at this event, different wines, beers, liquors, scotch, and brandy from around the world. There's also gourmet food, chocolate, appetizers, and the fundraiser also includes a cigar tent. All proceeds go to the Leader Dogs for the Blind and other Lions charities. Tasting begins at 6:30 p.m. Call 586-731-2100 for tickets. Like a lot of parents, Shelby resident Amy Entwistle was getting tired of all the extra Halloween candy that her son had left over. So here's her story on what she did about it.
My book is called Halloweenie, and the reason why I wrote it is because we do this family tradition at home with my son. Every year we would take all the extra Halloween candy and put it in a bucket and wait for this witch to come along, and she would take the candy and she would leave him a present.
We go to bed, and then in the morning I get a present after Halloween comes.
I work during the day at Beaumont Hospital. I work in radiation oncology as a dosimetrist. And so after my 40 hours of work there, I try to find time to go home, spend time with my family, and at the end of the day, I work on trying to figure out how to sell my book. And along with the story, I also made a little bucket that people can use to set the candy in for the witch to come. So the message of the book is basically we want to promote good health and healthy eating towards kids. You know, we always end up with so much candy at Halloween time, and it's nice to know that there's this witch out there that will come and help the kids out and take the candy from them and leave them a special gift. So I'm sure the dentists will love it, and the pediatricians for, diabetes and things like that.
Such a great story, and don't forget to hear her story live at the Shelby Library. Halloween's sneaking around the corner. That means trick-or-treaters will be at our doorsteps, gathering candy in every neighborhood in Shelby. But some would say all that candy isn't good for our teeth. Dentist Dr. Robert Anilak is holding his 10th annual Candy Buyback. Families can come by the Gentle Dentist on November 4th, give their candy to the doctor, and Dr. Anilak, who will in turn donate that candy to children in Haiti. But the Gentle Dentist tells us why.
I'm paying the kids $1 a pound back, so they're trading that candy that they have for $1, and the best part about it is they know it's going to go to a kid who could appreciate that. So that's the benefit of doing this. It's a win-win-win for everybody.
The Candy Buyback is from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Gentle Dentist, address 15055 22 Mile Road. Candy Buyback is again Wednesday, November 4th. Career Ministries of Michigan, a non-denomination group that provides free advice to those in a career transition, will be hosting an employer roundtable discussion on Thursday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. at St. Therese of Lisieux in Shelby Township. This event will feature 8 of the best hiring professionals in Michigan and will include an interactive panel with audience participation. Topics include resumes, interviewing tips, information about job fairs, job boards, LinkedIn, salary negotiations, and more. St. Therese Lisieux is located at 48115 Shaner Road. For more information or to RSVP, email the contact on your screen. Students got a one-of-a-kind opportunity to hear a story about one girl's life during the rise of the Nazis in the most unique way. 2,000 students from UCS heard an amazing story performed by concert pianist Mona Golubec, author of the book and performance called The Children of Williston Lane, at the Macomb Center for Performing Arts. This musical is the story of Golubec's mother, Lisa Yura Golubec, a Jewish musical prodigy. The narrative and piano concert starts in the Her family sent her on a famous train that took Jewish children out of Vienna to England during the rise of the Nazis. Lisa lives in an orphanage where she dreams to be a concert pianist. Student Avi Pillai plays the piano, is very familiar with the Moonlight Sonata and Chopin. He and his friends enjoyed this performance.
I think it really brought alive the period, like World War II with the Holocaust, and her performances like the Chopin Mazurka and the Grieg Piano Concerto. It really proved that the Kindertransport was a very difficult program, and a lot of people had to suffer to get into it, and I think that it really brought alive what sort of made that era so difficult to live in. So I think it was a very great performance. A lot of the students here, they also know piano as well, so I know that they can relate to this piece. They know, and other people know also about, the era of World War II, so it really brought alive that whole era, and it was very, very awesome.
Through the power of music, Mona shares her mother's story, a struggle of survival, and after the fall of the Nazis, finding her family and becoming a musical prodigy. Dr. Johns tells us more about this concert that was for 8th graders.
We're delighted that she joined us today. As you could tell, the students were very enthusiastic, in several cases mesmerized. And she told the story of her mother's life and her passion for music. And I thought it was a very powerful message, telling our students to hold on to their hopes, their dreams, and whatever it is they love. And in this case, for Mona, it was her mother's music.
Each student received the book, The Children of Williston Lane, which they read in social studies. This program was made possible by a grant from the Hold On to Your Music Foundation. Such a powerful story. Congratulations are in order. Shelby TV recently took part in the Hunger-Free Food Fight. This was an event through Gleaners Food Bank where we help donate food for those less fortunate. The numbers are in and the food was tallied up. Shelby TV and Shelby's group organizer Arthur Schink was awarded the 2015 Food Fight Hunger Hero Award for donating 27 days of food for the hungry. We couldn't have done it without you as a community. It shows. It's always important to give back. In this week's job hunt, if you're looking for a new job, we've got information for you. Barkabout is looking for talented individuals to grow their team. Openings include maintenance, front desk receptionists, pet care handler, and assistants. Next job, Kohl's is hiring part-time seasonal associates to kick off the holidays. Tasks would include cash handling, point-of-sale operations, greeting customers, assisting departments, and other customer service functions. Next job, Kmart is looking to add multiple new members to their team. Positions include cashiers, customer service representatives, service desk associates, and more. If you're interested in any of these local job positions, go to shelbytv.org and follow the link to Job Hunt. Coming up, animals in costumes. We'll explain after the break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek. People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
It's always fun to dress up your pet puppies in Halloween costumes, and Detroit Lions punter Sam Martin wants you to post those cute pictures of costume puppies on social media to help out the Michigan Humane Society. Martin pledges to donate $6 for every photo of a dog in a costume uploaded to outlets like Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram with the hashtag #KickOrTreat46. There's more incentive to dress up your pup. First place winner will get 4 tickets to a Lions game. The contest ends October 26th, so dress up those puppies. And that's Shelby This Week. You can watch us online all the time at shelbytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ShelbyTWPTV. Thanks for watching.